The Vancouver Canucks have named the 15th captain in franchise history. And I gotta say, for us, it's not who we expected at all. And it's gonna have some major implications on one player on this team going forward. We're gonna be going over everything in this situation in this video. But before we do, we notice that 97.8% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a place to catch up on all your news from around the league, your favorite team, other teams around the league, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the news for the upcoming season and the future of the NHL. But like I said, the new Vancouver Canucks have named the 15th captain in franchise history, being Quinn Hughes. I gotta say, a player that, like I said, we didn't really expect. We expected a few other players that we're going to be going over in this video to be named the 15th captain, but kind of came out of nowhere today. You know they were going to name a captain for this upcoming season. It was just really who between three players: Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, and Elias Pettersson. But Noah, what do you think about Pettersson being named, or Quinn Hughes, being named the captain over guys like JT Miller and Elias Pettersson, who've been there for a good while?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I seen the tweet this morning, and my first initial thought was, "Oh my God, like this isn't the right decision." But I've kind of let it marinate a little bit, and I've kind of been thinking about it. And I don't think it's terrible. Quinn Hughes, he's played 4 and I'll say a half seasons. He played kind of 5 games in his rookie year. But, he's only 23 years old, and, the Canucks kind of needed a new start and like a refresh almost. And I don't think it's it's a good option to have named a 23-year-old captain as your captain.
Yeah, no, Quinn Hughes, even at the age of 23, he's had a lot of achievements here.
Yeah.
Not going to read these all out, but I'll just say, he's almost a point per game in his whole career. Most points in a playoff run from a U21 defenseman, as well as the fastest defenseman to 200 points in an NHL career. 3 stats that, they're not some easy feats. We'll say that. And 16 points in 17 playoff games as well. Those ones are some of the big features for Quinn Hughes. Like an absolutely incredible defenseman. But in the situation of being named over some guys, like I think Elias Pettersson was probably the leading candidate in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to take into consideration, wondering what Elias Pettersson's future is going to be like on this team. Because I'm sure that a lot of people are being a bit wary on his contract situation now. Going into next season, this is going to be his expiring season, going to be an RFA after that, but he's made on the final year of his $7.3 million deal. Mm-hmm. So could this have been a potential, we don't know if you're going to be staying on this team, so let's name this guy who we have locked up on an incredible contract, by the way. Not even about that in this video, but a fantastic contract for Quinn Hughes for a good while, long time. Lock him up. Have that captain. We know he's going to be here for a while, but we're not too sure about you. So, Noah, what do you think about the possibility of Elias Pettersson maybe not being on this team as long as the Vancouver Canucks would like?
Well, first off, I'll get it out of the way. Elias Pettersson was my pick for the captain. I would have much rather see them kind of roll with 4 A's, the Pettersson, Hughes, JT Miller, and then I don't know, another guy, maybe a Tyler Myers, maybe a Connor Garland, maybe. And then kind of get Pettersson, figure out what they're going to do with Pettersson. And then almost dangle the C in front of him, like dangle a bit of meat in front of him. Say, here, we'll give you $9 million and the C as well. But I do think the Canucks are going to figure out some way, somehow, to bring Pettersson back. They got guys, like I just talked about Tyler Myers and Connor Garland being maybe an A, but I think they're probably not going to be on the Canucks come not this. They'll be there this season, but I think next season, I think they're good as gone. They gotta clear up money. They got that OEL contract they're still paying, which is I can't even figure out a word. Yeah. But, they got to find some money to pay Pettersson. I think he's going to command easily 9.5. I mean, he just put up, I think it was like 102 points or something, which is crazy on an absolutely terrible Vancouver team. So I do think they'll figure something out. And I do think Pettersson, even though Quinn Hughes just got the C, will be the face of the Canucks.
Yeah, that's pretty determined at this point. We know that the Vancouver Canucks like their Swedes with the Sedins. That's why I kind of figured Pettersson might lean into this captaincy role again, continuing the legacy of some great Swedish forwards being the captain for this team after.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but like I said, Elias Pettersson is a fantastic player, and you're right. He's going to be the face of this team, along with Quinn Hughes, along with JT Miller, presumptively, assuming he stays with this team. Yeah. But you can see by his stats here, you're absolutely right. He's 2 points below point per game in his career, 102 last year. An absolutely incredible season, but an absolutely incredible career so far as well in the NHL. And I know that points, how good you are, don't really matter for captaincy in the NHL. It's more so about leadership, more so about standing up for your team in situations like that. And it is that situation as well, but you can't also put anybody out captain. We know how that works, but both these guys, point per game in their career, just about. Quinn Hughes is pretty close as well, but as a defenseman too is absolutely incredible. But no, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's okay. No, I'm kind of thinking now as we're talking about this and as we're going over the whole situation, maybe Elias Pettersson's a little bit ticked off the fact that he didn't get to see. I think he's been there a little bit longer than Quinn Hughes. We've seen that kind of situation with Tarasenko in St. Louis, getting Ryan O'Reilly being named captain over him. I think it was, I'm not sure exactly when O'Reilly was named captain, but Tarasenko kind of wanted out. He requested a trade, nothing happened. Obviously, that's a whole different story. But I'm curious to see if Pettersson doesn't want to sign back after kind of getting the. I mean, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to be. You're being taunted with the C basically, and then giving it to someone else. And I kind of thought that as well until I seen this on Twitter. I'm not sure if this is actually confirmed, which I can see it being with someone saying here. It said, I spoke to Quinn Hughes before his press conference this morning and loved his perspective on the opportunity. Should be noted that JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, and Thatcher Demko were all in attendance at this press conference to show support to their new captain. So, you got to assume Elias Pettersson, he don't seem like the guy to get too angry at that, but you got to think about it. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he's definitely thinking, that probably could have been me. That probably should have been me. But, I expect, like you said, I don't think Elias Pettersson's going anywhere anytime soon. I think the Vancouver Canucks, once they figure out the whole situation with, like you said, Tyler Myers, Ekman Larson, all their cap situation that they're in right now, after the pretty sketchy season, we'll say, last year, I think once they get that all sorted out with all these young players locked up, they have a lot of promise, I want to say. It don't look like it, but I think they do. I'm not counting them out yet by any means, and I do think that Pettersson will be there for the long run. He don't really care, I guess. I mean, you got to think, these guys have pretty much been on the team the whole time together, the whole time they've both been on there. So you got to think they're good buddies. They don't really care who's the captain. They're in this to win it. They're not there to do any individual awards or anything. So I think that, it definitely is in the back of his mind, but I don't think it's going to impede anything. It might just light a fire under his ass, if anything, get him, 102 points this year. Maybe he'll push it up again next year, but we'll never know.
They need that consistency from him, for sure.
It is just what it is. But one thing to mention as well, we didn't. Quinn Hughes is a very offensive defenseman. His defense, it's all right. Nothing special.
I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch. I don't know.
I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's okay at defense. He's no special defenseman. He won't go out there and have 20 blocks a game or anything, but he's a very good player. And this team is going to be built around the offense. I think that is something for certain that we'll see in the future, but he's a deserving captain. Elias Pettersson would have been a deserving captain. JT Miller, maybe. We've seen some stuff about him, but I guess when he is happy, we'll say, he could be a deserving captain. But let us know in the comments below what you think about Quinn Hughes becoming the new captain of the Vancouver Canucks. You got anything before we sign this one out?
Very curious to see how the Canucks rig everything up and get all the cap figured out. I mean, there's been some questions about Patrick Alvin and what he did, the whole Bo Horvat situation. Won't dive into all of it because I know the video is getting pretty long, but very curious, very interested to see how the Canucks do everything.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Hopefully they have a quick turnaround from last season going into the future, but that's all we have. If you did like the video, make sure to like it, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't want to miss any news from your favorite team and around the league. That's all we got. We're signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day, and see you later.